Hey everybody, it's Eddie here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about MATIC, also known as Polygon, and why it's going to be my #1 cryptocurrency or altcoin for 2024. So if that sounds interesting, definitely stick around. Well, before I begin talking about MATIC, congratulations to everybody that held on during the bear market. Right now, Bitcoin is hovering around $62,000. It's only a few $1,000s away from its previous all-time high, and it's probably going to break above it and make its way up to 80K. But that's going to be another video for another time. But in this video, I want to specifically talk about MATIC, and currently it's actually my largest holding at the moment. But before we do any TA on MATIC right now, we're going to go back to 2019 to 2020 to see what happened to MATIC and the similarities in the patterns. So MATIC pretty much is range bounded for about 2 years over here, but actually there was a symmetrical triangle that was actually forming while the consolidation was happening. We had the initial breakout, then we got kind of like a fake out, but we did stay within that triangle before MATIC broke out and made new all-time highs, and we entered into the alt season or bull market. Fast forward, we kind of have this similar structure in MATIC at the moment. We can see that it kind of is range bounding, but it's also forming another symmetrical triangle where we go from this peak all the way down over here, and we will connect from this point over here all the way over there. Very similar structure where we got a wave up, got kind of like a fake out, but we consolidated into this triangle. And right now we are at the edge of a potential breakout. If we zoom out entirely, you can see the similarities in the structure from 2019 to 2020, and right now from 2021 all the way to 2024. But let's say that we wanted to draw the triangle from this point and not this point. Well, if we draw a straight line down, technically, MATIC has already broken out. Right now, we're on the 3-day chart. You can see that MATIC tried to break out, went back into the triangle, eventually broke out of it, got sort of a retest, holding at support, and now is range bounding. You can also see in January 2021, it got a breakout. It had multiple supports. This was in the span of 21 days before MATIC continued higher. So we're looking at least within another 2 to 3 weeks before we see any massive move within MATIC. Also, some other bullish signs is that if you look at the MACD, we just flipped green in the month of March. So if the month of March does hold green, then we are looking for a potential run up within MATIC as a whole. Also, if you look at the Super Guppy on the 3-day chart in 2020 to 2021, we had a flip red once, flip red twice, and then we had the bull market. We see a very similar structure right now as well, where it flipped red once, flipped red twice, and we just flipped green a few weeks ago. That could lead to a potential run-up if we are expecting a very similar pattern from 2021. Also, MATIC kind of has this pattern where it makes like 1, 2, 3 tops, then a sell-off. Same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, and then a sell-off. Same over here, 1, 2, 3, sell-off, and then we may be getting another structure where we get a 1, 2, and maybe a 3, maybe a little bit higher before a sell-off. Now that sell-off is actually going to be very important because it's most likely going to be a retest. Again, if MATIC has truly broken out, we might see some more upward momentum where we hit this resistance level right over here, right around there, and then we'll maybe get one correction as a retest. It doesn't have to happen. It may have already happened, but just be prepared for a possible pullback, or it may not even happen before we continue higher like that or later on. Next, we're looking at the MATIC to Bitcoin pair. Now you can see that it's been making lower lows, but we've also have very strong bullish divergence of higher highs on the RSI, higher high on the MACD, and higher high on the stochastic RSI. The same is true for MATIC to Ethereum pair. You can see that there's a lower low, but we can also see higher highs on the RSI, higher highs on the MACD, and higher high on the stochastic RSI. So everything overall is pointing and showing that there's going to be strength in MATIC, a very strong opportunity, a trading opportunity in MATIC over Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, nor anything I share in this entire video financial advice. So make sure you do your due diligence, do your own research, market analysis, do whatever you need to do to make your own decisions. But what I'm personally doing is looking at these everything is saying MATIC is going to be really strong. And again, this ties down to like my strategy. In the past, I used to trade and hold and buy a lot of Bitcoin and Ethereum. This bull cycle, I'm actually going to be using Bitcoin and Ethereum more as an indicator of what could happen, also to project the health of the market versus trading and holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think there's a lot of other investors and traders that are kind of doing the same thing this run. And I think that's just because once you've been in this cycle for about 2 cycles, you kind of have an idea of your own strategy and your own plans. And so for me, I'll be focusing on really 2 specific cryptos, or possibly even 3, and MATIC is being one of them. So everyone's favorite question is, when can we see this happen? And if it does, and when it does, how much is MATIC gonna go to? Well, in order to kind of understand that, we first need to have Bitcoin break above its previous all-time high, hit 69K, then go back above it, go hit 80K. That's where I see it, and we'll go over that in a bit. But I feel like Bitcoin first needs to hit around $80,000, get a pullback, and that's what we'll probably see MATIC go up. So in theory, technically, holding Bitcoin first is actually a smarter move, and then selling your profits into MATIC would be, historically, based on historical data, would be the best move. You can see that when Bitcoin hit 20K right over here, MATIC was still consolidating sideways, doing pretty much nothing. It's only when Bitcoin hit at 42K, got a pullback, and this is when everyone was freaking out, is where MATIC broke above its previous all-time high. Then we got a nice rally up. After Bitcoin hit close to the $64,000 mark right over here, consolidated sideways right over here, that is when MATIC also made a new all-time high. MATIC made an enormous, nice, impressive move of about 11,000 to 12,000%. That was a crazy move. Are we going to see that kind of move in MATIC again? Absolutely not. I don't think it's going to happen. Back then, MATIC was a much smaller cap. Of course, it's going to make a very impressive move here. This time around, MATIC may probably make like a 9x move. Still very impressive. It's about a 10. You're basically about 10xing your money. You put $1,000 in, turns into 10,000. You put $10,000 in, you make $100,000. General idea, of course. It's not like guaranteed. I can't guarantee that, but that's the idea of a 10x. Now, if you look at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin, it was in an uptrend in this channel, this parallel channel, ascending parallel channel. And right now we did get a potential breakout. Usually you just go from the top to the bottom of the channel to the breakout point, and you can see that the price target of this breakout is close to $85,000. This is actually in line with a Fibonacci target from the top to bottom, close to $90,000 right over here. And if you were in the previous bull market, a lot of people would even argue that the 64K top was the true top, and this was kind of like you can't really call it a false top because technicals don't lie. But if we go from the 64K top, it's actually in line with the extension of the 1.414. So definitely Bitcoin is most likely on its way to that price target. When it happens, who knows, right? It's even possible that Bitcoin just like range bounds for another 2 months, and then after the halving we get a run up. So when it comes to MATIC, it's going to be a very simple analysis, right? First, we're going to do a very general ascending triangle breakout. Let's say it breaks out right around there. That price target is actually going to lead us to $10. Now, $10 MATIC, very, very possible. That is, I believe, a 900% move. Let me see if that is about a 900% move from $1. This move is very, very possible considering just doing a full Fibonacci extension. $7 would be a good first profit taking level. $9 would be another. And then 11 would be just like my full sell. I'm out on the market kind of deal with MATIC specifically. But another question is it possible that MATIC go higher, even upwards of $15, $16, $20? The answer is yes, it is possible. Is it realistic? Yeah, I think it is, but I prefer to be more conservative with my price targets. I think $7 to $11 is going to be the next target for this bull market. And if it goes higher, great. At least I sold into profit and I'm going to be happy with that. I know crypto right now is in a bull run, but it is still not too late to think of a strategy of what to do. So again, everything I share, take it with a grain of salt. But when I say something like 10x, some of you guys might be like, dang, that's a lot. Like 10xing my money? Man, if I put 100K, I make $1 million. I know the idea, the dream sounds amazing, but just be very, very cautious when you do enter into investments or trades or whatever you want to call it. For some of you, you hear 10x and you're like, dang, that's a little. Like just 10x, I want 100x. But right now, I'm in a season of life where I'm actually very content with a 10x, right? I think even a 2x I'd be very content with. I'll be sharing more on like my outlook in life and just all that later in later videos. But that is why MATIC is going to be one of my cryptos of choices of 2024, possibly even going into 2025. And that is because of the pattern that's happened in the past, what we're seeing now in the charts, everything just lining up, everything is just shouting. MATIC is ready for a run, and I'm so excited for this run. I hope you guys are excited for 2024 as well. And I know I haven't been uploading as much. I've been spending time on my other business outside of YouTube. It's been going really well, but going into the bull run, I do want to post more often, give more updates. I do have a Patreon group. It's not the way that it used to be. I used to upload a lot more like fundamental analysis and a lot more just like different content. Now, if you guys do join my Patreon, which I'll leave the link down below, it's a link pretty much to a Discord. So if you have access to the Patreon, you'll get access to the Discord. And the Discord is where the value is going to be at. That's where I'm going to be posting my trades, my buys, my sells, my outlook on the market. I'm going to share a lot of that through video, but I can't be doing that real time. I can't be pulling out a camera, record something, edit it. You guys get what I mean, right? But on Discord, I can just be posting right there and right then. Of course, MATIC in the short term could be volatile. Things could go down probably to 80 cents, 70 cents, and then go back up. Anything could happen short term. But when we're looking at a longer term perspective for the rest of 2024, MATIC is looking very, very bullish. Hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully you found it very, very useful. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave it down below. Let me know which crypto you are excited to see run, or your cryptocurrency of choice for 2024 in the comment section down below as well. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Over. Good night, good morning. Adios.